Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. It's so good to have you here. And I am back, as you can see. After a ton of work over the month of January, working at the restaurant, learning how to be a line cook, I am done and moving on to the next chapter. So I'm spending February now devoting some time to winterize the lot and make sure it's prepped for my trip to New Mexico. I'm going back to Taos for my field study. It's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. Can't wait to show you all the happenings. And so I'm giving you this update that I'm here now. I have done a few things, but thankfully it hasn't been as stressful as normal. I've gotten to kind of relax because I'm not worrying about rain coming through the roof or the siding blowing off or peeling or bending or whatever. It's just kind of, I get to work on little things, quality of life improvements. It's been wonderful. So let me take you around to the first one. So Bussy has had an upgrade since last we saw. You can see we got a new charge controller right here. That's awesome. It has USB access and even DC parallel plugs if we need it. So this is a sweet little upgrade because, I was only borrowing a charge controller from a friend for a little while, but now I have my own and attached to the solar panels on top of Bussy upstairs, quote unquote. Now, reliable power for all my small 5-volt devices, phones. Even if I want, I could turn on the inverter here and get the laptop charged. So just another step to off-grid autonomy. And while this may not look like much, it has been super amazing to get a whole bunch of stuff off the ground. As you can see, I have this big beanbag thing from my previous life. And previously it was taking up, 8 by 5, on the floor, a good 40 square feet of space. And so now having it up, I have a place for all my drum storage. It's amazing. As well as, just random light things, getting them up off the ground. Always use verticality when doing space planning. All right, next. Also spent some time carving out campsite number 1, which is kind of on the northwest corner of the lot. You see, I intend to have a place for friends to hang out when they come here and camp. And so, I will probably do my first solid eco build here. Once I get gravel, I'll make a foundation and then use some of these tires to do a hut style, basically a cylinder, cylinder symmetry all the way up. And then I think like a lean-to metal roof, but that'll come later once I figure out the design. Anyway, the first steps of just clearing out the space and, moving the species that I want to keep, as much as I have to take down some plants. It is wonderful to start seeing, this land be useful. All right. Another little task was, last time we spoke, we had put the building paper on the southern face of the greenhouse. Unfortunately, we had some crazy windstorms while I was gone, and it was blown all over the place, in the mud, just covered in muck. And so, cleaned it up, put it back on, fixed it with some actual, wood, scraps of plywood, just to keep it there until we get the real siding and the glass up. So, another little improvement, but this one is very exciting, coming up. Now for the greenhouse. So last I left, I had just hooked up the plumbing to the gutter, and now I have plumbed, much more permanent, semi-permanent, the black tube right there. I got a smaller hose to go into the cistern, covered it in black so it doesn't promote algae growth. And then now, and wash the cistern, of course. But check it out, I have a valve right here running to a hose. And remember last time I tried to get water to run through the hose, and unfortunately it was a big embarrassment. But this time, as you can see, no water in the hose. I turn the valve. Dun, 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 and water is coming out of the hose. This is just a little bit. I could crank it full blast. But as you can see, now I have a cistern holding water. And I had my first boiled cup of coffee this morning. That was pretty momentous. So stay tuned. Now, what I'm really proud of as well, I made a window, as you can see. If you go on Instagram, you can follow the photos of me assembling it. But that took a little bit of work. You know, I used some of the leftover corrugated pieces, 1x2s, 2x4s, built a window box, built the frame of the window, then used the 1x2s inset a little bit to put the corrugated plastic inside sort of a window box. And then, you know, right now I have just kind of held the whole thing up. Oh yeah, I used recycled aluminum given to me from the restaurant underneath the kind of the molding that I put around this window frame so that it would act as a weather stripping kind of a metal sheathing. And, you know, it seems to be working all right. I have it just held in place with some C-clamps. I'm going to eventually put it on hinges. That's kind of a two-person job, and I can't do it by myself. So, now I'm going back to the city to get cleaned up yet again and kind of take care of some business before I head to Taos. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Please check me out on Instagram if you want more kind of updated daily photos and stuff. And much love. Talk to you soon.